time.
Yay.
Yay! Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Guides After Dark, where we are channeling your soul erotic questions on this lovely Thursday evening. It's Thursday evening here. So I'm in Colorado today.
I'm in Safford, Arizona.
Yeah. So my name is Jenna.
My
And
name is
listen,
Angela.
yeah. And we'll start off with, as we are waiting for people to come in, just a little bit about us. And so this tonight here is all about you guys. So whoever comes in, whoever just feels called to hang in with us, this is also an opportunity where you get to drop in anything that's on your heart. You can ask about sex, intimacy, pleasure, spiritual connection. This is a space where, if you're not familiar with Erotic Spirit Podcast, is a podcast on sexual healing, on sexuality, on freedom, on releasing shame, being in the body, so many things. So this is a spin-off of that segment where you can ask things live. So, or you could just come in and hang and watch with us. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start out. Or do you want to share who you are first, since I did some chatting there?
Sure. My name is Angela Shelby. I am a spirit guide channeler, a medium, a dream interpreter, and a practitioner of quantum touch energy healing. And yeah, those are all of the, what do I want to say, tools I'm pulled out.
Those are the
I'm
stuffs.
losing
Those
you.
are the stuff.
Those are the steps.
I know.
Sorry, folks. Our connection is a little wonky tonight when it comes to the internet. There are storms rolling through my area, so I might pop in and out.
Yeah, you're good. It was just a second. So, hi everyone. My name is Jenna Lee, and I'm a channeler. I channel with universe and higher self. I do energy work. I move in between the unseen worlds and help people really reprogram their subconscious, or really come to their truth and their remembrance of their true selves. And so I do one-on-one sessions. I host retreats. And yeah, I feel like I do a lot of other things. I'm writing a book.
Yay!
Yay. That is almost done. It's on its way. And so we'll just kind of start to set the space here. We're setting this container of love, setting this space of all that is, inviting in, anyone who's here, or when you come in and you're watching later, allowing you to just kind of be and surrender to the moment, giving a telepathic yes if it feels like a yes for you to receive anything that may come in. And again, this is at your space and your pace and invitation only. And whatever resonates, you take, and whatever doesn't, allowing yourself to just be present here in the moment, building your container, seeing your sovereignty, remembering your sovereignty, recognizing your power within you, allowing that to just be fully vibrant within your body through this moment, allowing that channel to just raise and the light to just be seen within all that is. Grounding in, recognizing your truth as your truth, and allowing it to just be. Breathing into that and breathing out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. What do you got, Angela?
Oof. So, let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Creator, for loving and blessing and being with us. Thank you for holding this container. Thank you, beloved angels and archangels, for blessing and being with us. Thank you, beloved ascended masters, for blessing and being with us. Thank you, Brother Yeshua, for blessing and being with us. Thank you for holding and protecting this space. Oof. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Woo. Good energy tonight. Well, it's always good energy, though. It's the best.
It's never not good
Never not
energy.
good energy. They always come and rise to the occasion.
Yeah. And, I have this way of moving through the world, and I believe it's my perspective that we are the ones that give things labels, right? Like, and what is good or bad? And what am I perceiving as good and bad? And what is my body really saying? What is really truth? And if I'm living in the past and my body and my mind's living in the past, but I'm in the now, what does that all mean too as well? And so I think sometimes there can be a perception on what is bad when um it may just be neutral, maybe just some other perspective that we're not able to see in that moment. That's what I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with that, and I'm being reminded that what we think our our bodies actually think happens. So if we're always reliving the past, it's like we're beating ourselves over the head with our past trauma over again, because we just keep reliving it over and over and over again. And
Exactly.
that's a way to process trauma. That's where like flashbacks and stuff come from. The healing process is to just keep replaying it until we figure it out and process it. But then there's that sometimes we just hold on to it because it's
Hmm.
what we know, or it's hard to let go of, or we feel we're protecting ourselves if we hold on to it. If we hold on to it, it won't happen again because we'll remember how horrible it was. It's like, hold on to the lessons, let go of the pain. But yeah, we keep reliving it. It's like we just keep doing it to ourselves over and over and over again. And that's rough.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I love it. I love it when the spiciness just drops in, says hello. Oh, beautiful. I love that. Wow, well said. Well said. All right, wow. Um, just a reminder here, guys, and if you want, you can go to the website eroticspiritpodcast.com. You can go to Spirit Guides After Dark and always drop in a question anonymously for something in the future. And yeah, other than that, feel free to let us know in the chat where you are from, or hit that like or subscribe button. Say hello to us. I love it. I don't want to speak for you. We love it. I love it.
Feel free to ask your questions, folks. This is a safe space to ask questions of your spirit guides or spirit in general about love, sexuality, spirituality, trauma release, and where all that
Yeah.
stuff comes together and collides. Uh, if you don't want to ask your question so that everybody can see it, please feel free to go to our website, www.eroticspiritpodcast.com. Go to the
Mhm.
top of the page. It says Spirit Guides After Dark. Click on it. It will take you to a form that you can ask your question, and we will see who you are, but no one else will be able to, and we'll answer it at our next session.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we have a question up here, which is, can pleasure exist without performance?
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting
That's I was just going to say that's a really interesting question.
phrase. That is the way that it's phrased. It's
Yes.
What do
I
you
well, I'm like, how did that question even come together? How can pleasure exist without
Yeah. I feel
performance?
like this question is phrased in a way that's saying that they're inclusive of each other when and
Mhm.
I actually really like this coming in because I actually believe that people feel they have to do something certain ways to receive pleasure, which is performance. So the way that the question came in
Mhm.
actually, I think, frames against how people believe. And so that's where the opportunity is, though. The opportunity is to actually see that pleasure infinite space and truth is actually through flow and through surrender, and not I have to do it this way, I have to look this way, it has to be this way. Pleasure is actually through, presence and through the present moment, which is opposite of performance. Presence is whatever moves in, I'm allowing, I surrender to that, and I'm tuning in to the senses and what the senses are telling me in the now, and not actually through performance. So it's not actually I learned this. I'm seeing someone, actually a visual of someone who took a class. Say it's like a class on how to give head. Okay, so say you taken this class and you're like, I know all the tricks and I know all of these things. And so you took a class on how to, dance erotically and move and flow and sensually. And then you get in front of a partner and you're like, oh, I know that move. And I know that move that I got to bring in, right? And you're bringing in, that's okay. It's the class is actually helping you get comfortable, but it doesn't need to move into this is what I learned, so this is what I have to do, because that's what that means. That means that I'm really sensual and that I'm able to project that, and with that pleasure comes. If anything, it's like it was just actually priming you to just get out of your head, so that when the moment comes up, you get out of your head and you're not like, what do I look like? How do I look when I dance? And I'm strip teasing and I'm like, do I look good? So it's to help support you. But true pleasure comes in when you are just free and you are like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna take off all the clothes first instead of doing actually a strip tease. And that's what I feel like doing right now. I can't wait. And that's where the pleasure comes in. You're just in the flow. So yeah, that's what I got.
It's funny, when I first read the question, my brain automatically went like, no, performance is not true pleasure. Performance is performing. It's not being present. It's
Yeah.
not being in your body. And then I'm like, okay, I tuned in, and it's really funny. They were showing me people doing role playing and like being a Furby or dressing up,
Mm.
having role playing moments. And it's like, performance, just like anything else, it's the intention behind it. And they said conscious
Oh,
performance, conscious
yes.
intention. It's it is what we make of it. If we're performing, like
Mhm.
consciously being authentically in the present moment in that performance and just living it and loving it. So you can perform and be in the present moment all at the same time. But it's again, it's that whole it's intention is everything. So, like, am I performing to hide myself and trying to people please? That is not being in the present moment. Am I performing because I am pretending that I am an FBI agent and I've got you under my power? Total different performance, but it's intention. It's what is behind the performance.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You just never know what's gonna come in. And I love
No.
both perspectives too, because they're all truths. It's just really funny because the way the question's phrased, it's like saying like this is the way that it is. And there is an avenue for that. There is an avenue. I love that how you said conscious performance. And so the wording, right? Like when it comes down to it, it's funny how this opened up, which was we give words meaning.
Yes.
Isn't that
That's
funny?
true. Good
Isn't
point.
that funny? Like that message came in right before this, and we give words meaning. So when we are saying that performance in this, your example is, by the way, I get to see what's under your London Bridge, like it is it is like, hey. I mean, total conscious intention of imagination and flow.
Mhm.
And it's such creation and life force energy that just actually truly comes in that experience. So I love that that came in. That was spicy.
You know what? And that was just like you talking about learning a new skill. Like, learning
Mhm.
how to give head better. It's like, is it performative to like
Yeah.
practice your new skill? You're kind of in your head, you're thinking about it, but it's no, it's consciously being in the present moment and doing
Yep.
that thing. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 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 which gets us out of our head, no pun intended.
but ching.
So, ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, as people are here, guys, feel free. Reminder, drop in a question you have. I feel like someone's on the edge of it. They're like, should I? Should I not? Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay, but if not, we got some questions here for you. And we're gonna oof, oof, oof.
Like, do you have another tricksy one? Let's see.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I
that's a
mean,
good one. Are some lovers meant to awaken us rather than remain with us?
oh, this is.
That's a good one. Mm, I know what I would say. Again, my mind
Do
is
it.
already jumping in, but let's see
Do
what
it.
Spirit has to say about this. Unless you have something coming through. If you do, go ahead and jump.
You go first. Mhm.
I'm getting a message I give all the time. Do not equate the length of a relationship with its success. Oof.
Mhm.
We are meant to have relationships with all sorts of people throughout our life, and they can all have different purposes. Each relationship can be as unique and have as unique a purpose as each person within that relationship. So on the broader scale, yes. Some lovers are meant to awaken us rather than remain with us. Or some lovers are meant to challenge us rather than remain with us. Or some lovers are there to help us find parts of ourselves we didn't know we had, or help us get out of a different situation, and they just keep saying
Mm,
and. The possibilities are infinite and limitless. And the message coming through is stressing how much a relationship is a creative endeavor. It is a creative project. We think of it as something that just happens, with humanity, like you just connect, or people just get married and that's what we do. And it's like this, and it's just the way it is. And what I am being shown right now is like, you don't understand. If you treated your relationships like the creative palette with all the variations that there are, infinite numbers of variations, then it would be a game changer when it came to relationships, and people would be more accepting and flexible
mhm,
of themselves and others. They're really just showing me celebration, and like, celebrate your relationships like they are like a painting,
mhm.
and an active creative process instead of something that goes on autopilot after a ceremony or after a commitment. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Yes, I'm moving and flowing with it, so it's just flowing.
Flow,
And
flow,
go,
flow,
go,
flow.
go, flow. And so what I have coming through, so our lovers meant to awaken us rather than remain with us. And whoo, and then the energy kind of just like settled into this, like I'm seeing this box, and I just heard this opportunity to not stay in the box. Like there's again this labels and what society or the conditioning of what may be normalized, quote unquote, as what relationships may be. And this is the opportunity to awaken yourself, really. It's the lover and the relationship is inspiring things, but it is for us to choose to awaken. And there's a big message coming through on how a lot of people come together and there's some sort of frequency and resonance that is similar, right? You can call it law of attraction. If you're not familiar with law of attraction, like attracts like. And so there's some qualities, even some qualities that even seem opposite of each other, are similar in energy. They're the same meaning and intention behind it, but the behavior looks different. And so people with similar beliefs usually are attracted to each other in some way. And so this happens a lot of the time in initial connections. And whether one's growing tremendously or just growing a little or not choosing to awaken and grow at all, then you have the other person who is starting to become unaligned because they are choosing maybe full on growth, full on steam ahead, maybe full on steam ahead, baby. And then that's where things split. And so all things have its purpose. It's what are we willing to sit with and look at and understand. Things ebb and flow. People come into our life, people move out, people grow with us. They grow with us for a certain period of time. Is there a thing as forever? I mean, there's of course an opportunity for people to remain with us. But it is also for us to awaken to the choice that should they remain with us? Should they? Has its time passed? And are they in alignment with truth? And are they not in alignment? And then what boundaries are we willing to uphold with that? So it comes down to the awakening of self and the choices that we move out and flow within that space, and continuing to understand that we evolve and learn who we are sometimes along the way. And we're like, I thought I liked that. I don't.
Or I did yesterday and I don't today. Or,
Yeah,
we change. We
we
just
do.
we change.
We do change. We do. We do. So, yeah, wow. I don't know. I don't really know what I said, but I said it. I said it. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to jump into this other question here. I don't see anything in the chat box there. I'm going to jump up here to why do people abandon themselves to be desired?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
That's another tricksy one. I like the tricksy
Mm-hmm.
ones. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the answers are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. They're showing me Marilyn Monroe.
Oh.
That is so interesting. Let me see what this is about. So the message I'm getting is people abandon themselves to be desired for power. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
for power, for acceptance, for control, for security. There's the feeling that to abandon oneself needs to be done for survival. That what we are abandoning ourselves for has more value than being true to ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly is, I feel like, often the human condition,
Mm-hmm.
that to be desired is to have power. I'm also, so they're showing me like back in like my grandmother's time where to be desired was how you attracted a partner. It was how you
Mm-hmm.
attracted, an influential partner. And based on that partner, that's where you went in life, because as a woman, you couldn't own property. You couldn't go out and be a business person. You had everything you had was based on who you married. So being desirable and getting who you wanted to marry so that you could go where you wanted to go in life was like a cutthroat business sometimes.
Mm.
So it was literally for a long time a matter of survival, and in different parts of the world, they're showing me different cultures. It still is. To be true to oneself means,
Mhm.
to be slaughtered, have bad things happen. A lot of bad things happen.
Mhm.
It can mean your life. Oof. And it's often, so they're showing me it's done out of fear. We
Mhm.
abandon ourselves to be desired. It's usually not it's not something that is done out of a space of love. We do it out of a space of fear because we feel like to be desired is worth more than being true to ourselves.
Yeah. Mm. I love that you shared on the past, like the just different generations and how that's kind of come through. And I feel like that's really a big point to really settle in. Like a lot of these things are coming up not to blame, like it's for an awareness and
Mhm.
how these pass down, these thoughts and ideas pass down, and they get passed down not through like what you just said was like, well, this is what they did to survive, and like, to be with someone influential, like that doesn't pass down through granny. The What passes down is the wording of, oh, you got to look like that, right? And it's not going back to the root of it all, but it is just
Mhm.
the wording of, this is the mindset and the belief that something outside of me is the value. And
Mhm.
so if that's not being expressed in its full form, that value outside, then I gotta switch it, because if you don't like me, then I don't know if I'm gonna make it, type.
Mhm.
And that's not necessarily the thought, but that's the behavior. And so it's getting in deeper here, like it's these layers to just add on to like that survival layer is so and it can be so ingrained if you're not aware of just the subtleties of, where are we giving our power away, where are we saying our value is outside of us, and it's telling a different story than we usually think it is. It's usually not like the obvious, like it's not usually like the obvious, hey, I'm going to go dress in a certain way to attract a partner. That's you truly, I believe, at least a perspectives coming through. There may be some beliefs in here that, you're doing it because you're maybe, you don't want to be alone. Maybe you've been alone and, it feels lonely. But it's putting that value that for you to attract a partner, that you have to be and look a certain way. But the
Mhm.
belief is, well, I'm fucking tired of, feeling this way. And so I'm going to do these things, and hopefully then that switches.
Mhm.
So it can get in really, really deep. It's not one way stop, and it has different layers to it. Yeah. So many
Yeah.
layers. It's the onion.
It's that question truly is the onion. There are so
Yeah.
many layers to that.
Yeah.
But the point I love that I think just like tied it all together and made it very succinct is this is looking outside yourself for your
Mhm.
value
Yeah.
instead of looking within yourself for your value.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, ultimately that's like the crux of what someone's doing. So you can go, and I just heard like, how do I determine, like how do I know where it's coming from? Like what were the beliefs when you were younger? What did you learn about value? Did you learn that getting the trophies and the awards in school meant that you were successful and you were smart. Like that was a symbol of you being smart. And that because of that, that was really rewarded through being seen, and it's rewarded through all these things. And that's not to say that we shouldn't have these spaces where we do that. And we honor like things there, but it is also like I believe the opportunity to challenge that that's not the only time we celebrate, that we're smart, and that we're doing what we can, and that we have skill, celebrating that all the time, is my motto. I like to celebrate. Celebrate good
Celebrating
time.
is good. Well,
Yeah.
and I think it's that question of the end does not justify the means. So, if to become that smart and get all that accolade, did you lose your relationships? Did you damage your health? Did you
Hmm.
isolate yourself? Did you have to step on other people to get there? Uh, all of those things I consider to be abandoning oneself to get
Yeah.
to that place. So, you can still get there, but did you get there by nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself as much as you put toward that goal or that career accolade? Did you nurture your relationships as you got there? It's that whole intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's 2
Yeah.
ways to get there. You can have the same end result, but do you wanna abandon yourself on the way there? Do you wanna, like, hold on to yourself on the way there?
Yeah. Yeah. Were you saying yes to things when you meant no? When you were like, no, that's a no for me, but you're saying yes
Mhm.
and yes. And so you're abandoning yourself every time. And then you're telling your body not to trust, like, trust anything. Your body's just
Mhm.
like, well, she's just going to say yes anyway. So that's it. And so
Yeah.
we're just training and conditioning our body and mind to just be in that state. Be in that state, which is not truth. That's abandoning.
Yes.
Oh, can
Yep.
can come in many many different ways. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any do you I have a okay, I have a question here. I just heard to ask you, do you
Good.
have any questions? Like, do you have any questions coming?
Do I have any
Yeah.
questions? That is a very good question. Whew, let me ask.
Okay, if not, I have this one popping up. I mean to put you on the spot. Pew, pew.
I don't have one coming through right
Okay.
now, but yeah, bring up that one and
Okay.
let's see.
Why do some people crave intensity instead of intimacy? Well, yeah, this is a word thing too. It's a-
Yeah,
this is
yeah, go ahead.
this is okay because I know what the intention is behind this question. Um, and it all comes down to the wording and the words be worded and the words with the language. And so intensity can be perceived as negative. And I believe that part of this, why this came up, was to more pose a question to like chaos, like kind of that type of intensity, because I
Mhm.
believe that my energy is intense, but it's like a good intense. But it's through truth and love, and that it's just like I'm a fucking dance in the street. So find me out there. But there's a space where something is chaotic, and that's the kind of intensity that it feels like it wants to move into that space of looking at chaos, meaning um, someone that causes, I don't want to say causes drama, they're projecting their insecurity, say, and through this space maybe they're yelling. Maybe it's, and it doesn't need to be that extreme, but for some reason it's coming in where it's like maybe there's some form of yelling and projecting of those insecurities. And so sometimes people, like, then you have that there, I'm seeing this couple who they fight and then they make up, and then they fight and they make up. And so it's this like this pattern of chaos and drama, and this is how we see each other, and then oh, that's when we have the best like makeup sex or something.
Uh-huh.
And so and so I see that that example coming through. And that's not to say that, like, if you aren't trying to resolve things afterwards or whatever, fine. This is more of like something that is just some sort of pattern that is not serving you. And so I see this as what they're sharing is someone who's become accustomed to that type of energy. So their nervous system or their body or their experience, they were used to that kind of behavior. Maybe when they were younger, maybe they experienced, that chaos and that yelling and that drama. And so that seems normal. And maybe they experienced, maybe not necessarily witnessing people who would make up and like have sex after that kind of thing, but they would just see that chaos and that nothing was resolved. And so it could just be someone who is moving into the space where they are seeing that as normal. And so they don't even see another way, don't even see another way for resolution, that it is, I just, my body craves this. This is all that I know. Comes down to sometimes people, when they finally see a safe relationship, sometimes they think it's boring because they're not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, well, I'm not used to like someone not projecting all their shit at me, and like this doesn't seem right. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I think I'm gonna leave. So it's just that what's normal? What's something that's normal and not normal? Yeah, that's what I got coming through.
I like it. When this question first came up, the word drama, drama, drama. I'm like, like across my inner banner here. Let's see what they've got to say. They're showing me some people really just don't know the difference. And the intensity is part of their intimacy. Some people just love the drama. They love the chaos. And there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it as long as they're with people who also love the drama and the chaos. Um, so spirit is taking exception right now with saying intensity instead of intimacy. Instead is the key word there.
Mhm.
Again, this is really interesting. So this is one of those things that's labeling again.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
spirit right now is showing me like there's in like putting intensity on one side and intimacy on the other as an instead of. And they're saying that is human limitation and putting things in a box. They're saying there's
Mhm.
so many different variations within that and moving in and out of those spaces. Intensity, even though it's not intimacy, can lead to intimacy, and
Mhm.
intimacy can lead to intensity.
Mhm.
And oof, I'm telling spirit, well, I shouldn't tell spirit anything. They're bringing up the message that they want. Um, my mind is going, but intensity, the question was intensity instead of intimacy. Why do people do that?
Mhm.
And so this is the other thing. Spirit's taking exception again. This
Mhm.
question is being asked from a biased place from
Mhm.
people who look at dramatic relationships from the outside and say, "Oh no, they are not intimate," or "He was so intense that it got in the way of intimacy," or "He would rather be intense than intimate," or they're saying this is a misunderstanding that often, and they're judging other. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, spirit totally took exception with that question wholeheartedly. That is definitely a human labeling limitation question.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think it's interesting because again, the very beginning of this was like the labels, and it's like it's
Mhm.
not about it's about the words that we put things to.
Yes.
That's the restriction. And so it's really interesting how the themes and the unfolding of a lot of today is around the restrictions really that we put on experiences through you can call it words, but the words dictate how people move and flow in the world. Like I
Yes.
say one way, one word one way, you say it another way, and it like they're two different meanings. And this is really, I believe, an opportunity to what I'm hearing is slow down. Like when we are moving through the world and we give it meaning, it solidifies in limitations. It solidifies in restriction and flow of surrender. Like because I say give something a meaning, I may react and create my reality a certain way. If I am open and curious and exploring flow of energy, like I surrender to this curiosity and I'm with it, I'm not flowing against it. And so life moves beautifully in that way. So there's really an opportunity to see how you see the world. And I heard that to ask yourself the question doesn't mean that it's you if you're listening to this, that you're restricting yourself, but it is an opportunity to challenge how we what we give meaning. And is that really truth, or is that just something that I learned somewhere? And so now, like you said, like someone who's looking from the outside in a relationship and seeing like, well, I mean, they can't be because this is what this means. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what one learned.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean that's truth. It just means like this is what I'm seeing, but I'm not actually in it. And even when I'm in it, sometimes I'm not you can be like, "I'm not really seeing it either." I'm in it, and I still can't see it because I'm I'm in the past.
And what is intimacy? That is something that is different for each person and
Yes,
for
another thing.
different cultures, and some people can never touch and have a deeply intimate relationship.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
just it's one of those, relationships is a creative space, a creative project. Intimacy is going to be different for each couple and what they
Yes.
consider to be intimate. I mean, for some
Uh-huh.
people, like, in different cultures, like, seeing someone's ankles was incredibly intimate. Oh lord,
Yeah.
and others you can run around naked, and it's nothing. It has nothing to do with intimacy, but,
Uh-huh.
allowing someone to come into a certain part of your house, incredibly intimate, it just it's again, it's part of that creative process. It's a creative thing. It's
Mhm.
whatever we decide intimacy is.
Mhm. Yes. Oh, I like it. I like the drop in on even though it's really funny. Because I was picking the questions and like I when it came up like to be in the flow of it, it's like that's an interesting, like that's just putting words to it, but that's it. That's what we do in life. We
Mhm.
be wording real hard and heavy.
Yeah.
We
And
be
it's harder to be in the flow when we are constantly labeling things, and it doesn't mean let me change that. It doesn't mean we don't self-reflect or redirect or ponder what's going on in our life.
Yeah.
It is about feeling the need to stuff things into a certain category or pigeonhole it. Ooh, shivers. Um,
Mhm. Oof.
if if it's something we don't quite understand, the need to shove a label on it instead of just rolling with it.
Oh, yes.
That's when we
Mm.
get into trouble, especially when we are brought things again we don't quite understand, it's something new. You cannot solve problems from one way of being and vibrating from that same place. You have to go to a different vibration. So a lot of the time when we're in the flow and we have new vibrations coming in, there's that piece that wants to take it and bring it to that place, that vibration that we already know, and slap a label on it and try to make it fit, when
Mhm.
the opposite needs to happen. It's the letting go, being okay, not quite understanding what's coming in, and reaching for it anyway, so that you can leave the old way behind and go on to the new way.
Mhm.
So that moment of I don't know, or what the hell is this, and I'm just going to roll and see where it goes, that is true problem solving, true
Yeah.
creativity. That is flow. And
Yeah.
that takes us to new vibrations, new ways of being, so that we
Uh-huh.
can find solutions from our old way of being.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. Just I keep seeing someone putting like a I'm seeing like an assembly line or something in the factory and things just like rolling down, and they have this like two boxes where where you label everything or you just surrender. And I see this person on the assembly line. It's like, I don't know what this is. I don't understand it. I'm gonna label it over here.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm gonna label it now again. I'm gonna label it
Mhm.
again. And it's, to me, it feels like a control thing. I if I don't know, it feels like a survival mechanism to, like, if I can control what this means, then everything in the world will make sense. And everything in the world, if everything in the world makes sense, then I understand. Like, I just heard someone say out loud, like, why did this happen to me? And so I'm gonna label it, instead of
Mhm.
and what we're doing is boxing ourselves into this finite way of seeing something in a lens. And when we box ourselves in, we actually don't allow the opportunity to really explore and be curious about something new, information that wants to come in. Because what's happening is, it's like, it's control, it's survival. And so I'm just going to see it this way, I'm only going to see it this way. And we go around in loops and patterns again and again. Whereas, okay, instead of labeling it, like, this is exactly it. I'm going to open up. I'm going to breathe, move out of survival, understand that I can't control everything, that I'm just here. And the surrender allows actually that movement into that flow. And then that flow provides um, opportunities beyond comprehension sometimes. Sometimes it's beyond what I could have even imagined. Like, I didn't fucking know it was going there. Damn.
Mhm.
And I let go. And this is what happens, which is much more fulfilling, but it could feel more scarier, because when we don't have control, what do we have? So,
Yeah. Yep. And as you were talking about the assembly line, the message also came in. I like the assembly line image. That's good. That image came in as if it doesn't fit in a certain category, we throw it away. Doesn't
Yeah.
fit this label. It doesn't fit this label. Therefore, I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist and throw it away because it does not fit within my labels in my box.
Yeah.
And again, that is a place in which solutions cannot come to us, and it makes it really hard to change, and it makes it hard to find solutions when we do not allow new information to come in and be willing to adapt and change with it.
Mhm.
So it's like, it reminds me of someone. Do you remember that story where someone, you know, so the flood is coming. This person climbs on their roof and is praying to God, saying, God, I know you'll save me. I have the best faith. I know it's going to be okay. And a guy in a raft comes and he's like, come on, get in. Nope, I'm waiting for God. God's going to save me. Okay. And, and all these modes of transportation come, and then a
Mhm.
helicopter comes. And every time the guy says, nope, I'm waiting for God to save me. And All of a sudden the floodwaters reach up, the guy drowns, and he gets to heaven. He's like, I was waiting for you to save me. What the hell happened? He goes, well, I sent you a raft, I sent you a helicopter, sent you all these things, and you wouldn't take it. It's like if it doesn't fit how we think things should look,
Yeah.
it's like Spirit's trying to bring us all these solutions. But again, if they don't fit in the labels and we throw it out and you're like, dude, that was your lifeline. And you keep throwing it back at me
Yeah.
just because we can't look outside our labels.
Yeah. Yes. And what does this mean?
What does this
What is it?
mean? Yeah.
How much time? I can't even tell you. I mean, doesn't mean I'm perfect, but now I don't so much as like question, like, oh my gosh, what does it mean? I do feel like there's a lot of time and energy spent in that space of like, what does it mean? Well, like, what if it's not supposed to fucking mean anything? What if it's like, I mean, I believe in like in faith and this interconnectedness with the universe, but sometimes it feels like this energy of waiting, like waiting for me to learn something instead of embodying my mastery, like embodying this ascended master self and just being in the flow and just feeling like, okay, like I'm here. It doesn't need to tell me anything. I'm not fucking waiting for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that I can't ask the question out to the universe, but it just, I remember that dropped in, I don't know how long ago, like a year ago, and my life changed because I'm like, I'm not fucking in this waiting energy anymore. Sin is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to, I learn a lot, and I will always be in that humbling energy, but also I have so much more than just to be in the like, tell me, what does it mean type of
Mm-hmm.
energy. So yeah, that totally tangent there.
We've gone down a total rabbit hole, but honestly, like Spirit's obviously talking about labels tonight and
Labels.
how we label things, and
Labels.
it's obviously causing a lot of distress. Otherwise, Spirit wouldn't be talking about it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, get on my soapbox about I'm a fucking wait for nothing. No, I'm just, sometimes I do ask, but like, just it'll just be because I am.
mm-hmm.
Because I am. Mm.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, dropping in some spice. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I got this last question here that we have time for. So we're gonna drop in because I wait, hold on. Okay. What would happen if people stopped apologizing for their desires? Which me, yeah,
Okay.
what would happen?
What would happen? Ooh, people stopped apologizing for their desires. Hmm.
Mhm.
You go first on this
Okay,
one.
I'm just freedom.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it's a song. I feel like it's a song that's coming in just like freedom. And then that's it. It's like they're like mic drop. That's it. Just right. Apologizing is the energy that you feel like you did something wrong. And if there's
Mhm.
a desire to be had, there's a reason. There's a part of us that is being called to recognize and witness ourselves. And so when we actually apologize, we're invalidating that witnessing. We're not even letting that witnessing happen. So this is really the opportunity to let that shit go. Let it go. Stop apologizing and really step into power and own your truth. And I know it feels like it's like a harsh, like, oh, like, you just gotta step in and be. But yeah, like it's time to stop invalidating who you are as a person and a being because someone else feels uncomfortable because that you're I'm hearing too, like you're too much, like your desire is like no, like why would that ever be desire? And so it puts this it flips the switch to allow you to think that you are too much by apologizing. Right? You're not giving a witness to your soul and your truth. So yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I loved how you said apologizing invalidates someone's desires. It's like you're
Mhm.
automatically invalidating yourself when you start apologizing
Yeah.
for what you want.
Yeah.
Let's see what spirit has to say or what's coming through. Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. So I have Jesus coming through. Ooh. And let's see what we got here. To apologize for your desires is to invalidate your soul,
Mm.
is the message that I have coming through. How do you know who you are if you are constantly questioning what you desire? How do you know who you are if you don't understand what you desire? So, what I'm being shown is when we are apologizing for desires, which means we are denying them, shoving them under the
Mhm.
rug, you don't know who you are until you know what you desire. Whether you approve of it or not, whether you feel it's acceptable or not, until you are in touch with your desires and willing to look at them and be honest about them, you don't know yourself.
Mm.
And and it's important to know yourself. And then you decide what you want to do with those desires, whether you want to act on them,
Mhm.
whether you want to change them into something else or just simply acknowledge them. But so often to even do that is not allowed. We don't even have permission to do that.
Yeah.
We've been taught not to, but it's how you know who you are.
Mm. Oof. I love that. Know, I heard know thyself. Ooh, after you said it, I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, this is getting good. I love that. Oh, so good. That was such a good one to end on. Okay, I'm pulling up our stuff here. So just a reminder to where that you guys can find us. Eroticspiritpodcast.com. It's got all the stuff, the latest episodes. You can see Spirit Guides After Dark. You can ask your questions for future stuff. And then also, I'm going to pull up your website here. There, my dear. Where can we find you?
Yeah, that is my website, www.angelashelby.com. I do one-on-one sessions. I love to do one-on-one sessions.
Mm.
Um, I do spiritual counseling as well, and I have a spirit guide communication course that will be incredibly affordable. It will be online so that you can go at your own pace and pick and choose what you use.
Mhm.
And that's coming out in the very near future.
Yes. Ow, ow, ow. Get it, guys. Subscribe to her stuff. She's amazing. Love it. And then you can find my info here, myawakeningwithin.com. You can tune into a one-on-one session. We get into the roots of what is happening, what is going on, and help create new experiences that align so you can embody your truth. I have a retreat coming up end of July in Mount Shasta. So you can go check out the events under myawakeningwithin.com. And I have a free webinar coming up in July. It's about the fear of being seen. So you can go subscribe. You can go attend the event online for free. Even if you can't make it live, you will get the replay there. So yay, that's what I got. That's what I
Mhm.
got. So, and the latest episode is out here, guys. I have the newest episode up there, which is the real reason your sex life isn't working. And we talk about the energy that we are projecting and what that is really saying about our beliefs and our internal systems and how to help support one out of that space. So you're going to want to check it out. You're going to want to check it out. Okay. So, well, it was such a pleasure hanging with you guys tonight. I love it. Many, many loves and lights and blessings
Mhm.
and all the things.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, take care. Bye.
Have a good night.